It has been exactly 1 week since the AMA with CEO Kris of Crypto.com, and in that AMA he dropped a lot of news about the future of CRO, Crypto.com and also the Cronos chain. So guys, I would say let's strap in and let's analyze this AMA in this deep dive video. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only CoinMaron, and I've been into the CRO ecosystem since 2019. So I've seen tons of AMAs as well with Chris Marszalek. And I know what he tends to do is drop a lot of information, but you really have to dive deep into that whole pile of information to find the pieces of gold. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. We're going to show a lot of clips and also do a bit of analysis on the clips from Chris. So strap in guys, hit the like button and of course subscribe for more. The AMA begins with a question to Chris about his view on the current market, because really it has been underperforming to the previous bull cycle. So let's hear from Chris.
My general point of view is that we need to forget about the 4-year cycles. The structure of the market has changed fundamentally, and everybody has to understand that the game is completely different right now. I think we may have a bit of choppy waters over the next couple of months, but the foundation that is being laid by this new administration for crypto and for business in general is one that is very strong and sustainable. So I think we're going to see another leg of this rally, and I'm very, very optimistic about the market towards the end of 2025 and going into 2026.
His first statement about the 4-year cycle being over is quite interesting, but it also aligns perfectly what some other analysts are saying. Because if you take a look at what is happening currently with Bitcoin, is that we see cycle on cycle on cycle, we do see diminishing returns. And also with the new inflow from ETFs, there might be a case to be made that there are no 4-year cycles anymore, especially if you also think about, well, the halvings becoming less and less effective as the halvings become smaller and smaller and smaller. With that in mind though, Chris did mention he expects the bull market to continue near the end of 2025, but also the beginning of 2026. And especially that last part is very interesting because that would make it the longest bull cycle ever for crypto. But okay, personally, I don't know if I entirely agree with this statement, because so far, of course, all the traders for crypto have been accustomed to that 4-year cycle. So I think from a psychological point of view, a nice Christmas rally and then a dip in the beginning of the new year also make a lot of sense. But let's continue with the AMA. Chris continues with talking about the revenue numbers of Crypto.com and their growth targets, because they want to invest heavily back into the company. And specifically, this part is very interesting.
And of course, a lot of focus is going to be on ETFs. A lot of focus is going to be on being aggressive in terms of our on-chain product. We believe that the new waves of users are going to be coming predominantly straight to Web3 environments. So we want to make sure that we've got the right product there so that we capture those future growth areas.
Their renewed focus on on-chain products is very interesting because, for example, recently we did get a big upgrade to their on-chain wallet, including also a rebrand. And I do think it makes sense because Chris mentions that many new customers are going to skip the exchanges and go straight into Web3 by going to their favorite dApp, for example, by buying crypto directly with their credit card in the wallet. So honestly, it makes sense that they want a piece of that pie. And I think, guys, it's also going to be very good for the Cronos chain, because of course the on-chain products are always going to use the Cronos chain. So very interesting, and also I think it's great for their vertical product alignment. Anyways, next to investing into their on-chain product, they also want to grow by acquiring different companies, especially for example in the banking industry and also for the ETF offering. And while we're talking about ETFs, we're also going to have the first ever CRO ETF, and there we get the following news by Chris.
There's going to be also some innovation there in terms of deploying baskets that include proof-of-stake tokens like Cronos, and we're very excited about it. This is the first time that CRO is included in an ETF, so please look for more news on this as filings are done. And we're very, very, very excited about this partnership. It's absolutely incredible.
The partnership Kris is talking about is the one between Trump Media and Crypto.com, where Crypto.com will be the custodian for new ETF offerings with Bitcoin, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and a new basket with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and also Cronos. So very excited about that one, but check out more in my previous video. But okay, what makes this basket so very exciting is that this will open the doors for many institutional investors. So many institutional investors want to get into Bitcoin, but in order to get even higher reward potential, they need to go into riskier asset classes, like for example, Ethereum. But if you're an institution that wants to do even more risky investments for higher rewards, you can even choose the version including CRO, which of course is a very promising altcoin. So I am very excited about this one, but unfortunately guys, it takes some time for an ETF to be approved by the SEC. So be a bit more patient. And if you are a man of patience, you must check out this new feature from our sponsor, Puush.fun. You might have heard about Puush.fun as a meme or launchpad on the Cronos chain, but recently they've been cooking on their own DeFi tools, including for example the Vault. And really this is a great sandbox for both users as well as teams with their own token, because it's super easy to create your own vault for a token, an NFT, or even liquidity pools to really reward your community for providing liquidity. And you can find those rewards if you go to the vault list, because here you can see all the tokens that are sending out rewards. And if you open, for example, the Push token, you can see currently there are 3 tokens being rewarded if you are staked in this vault. And if you scroll down, you can even see how much you have earned so far, and you can even start claiming those tokens. And as a team, you can also add your own custom rewards. Check out Puush.fun in the link down below. But let's continue with the AMA. Then the conversation flips to the 70 billion unburn of CRO tokens, or 70 billion mint, after a governance vote. And Kris starts with the following.
Maybe I'll start with a public service announcement. Cronos and Crypto.com have been run separately for years, separate governance, separate entities. But where we are aligned is the mission and the vision, the cryptocurrency in every wallet. And where we are aligned is that we want to make CRO great again.
Whoa, wait a minute, Clemero, wait a minute. Crypto.com and CRO are 2 different entities? What?
Well guys, this has been the most asked questions recently, and yes, this has been the case already since 2021, when they rebranded the token from the Crypto.com coin to Cronos and also launched their own chain. Also, the governance rights went from Crypto.com over to the Cronos Labs Foundation that governs the Cronos chain as well. So therefore, the proposal for the 70 billion mint did not come from Crypto.com, but officially came from the Cronos Labs team. However, Crypto.com did support the proposal with their governance votes, because if you guys are staking, for example, for these cards, or staking in the Earn platform, or staking your CRO on any platform really of Crypto.com, they also get the rights to vote on your behalf. So they are supporting the proposal, and Kris is going to explain now why they are supportive of this proposal.
So when I look at the original token burn from Q1 2021, I view this as a defensive move. At that point in time, it made a lot of sense. Now we've got strong support from the new administration. The war on crypto is over. We have extremely strong tailwinds for the whole industry. And there is need for an aggressive investment to win. I'm always very supportive of thinking big, being bold. We've run an entire global campaign with the tagline FFTB. So I believe that not making big moves is akin to accepting being somewhere in the middle of the pack. I don't think this is what the community wants. It's like thinking in cents when we should be thinking in dollars. So you guys have to understand that Crypto.com reinvested billions of dollars to build a globally recognizable, trusted brand. And likewise, Cronos will have to invest billions to build a top 5 chain. So I think that on balance, this path has the highest likelihood of success that benefits all token holders.
Loads to unpack here, ladies and gentlemen. Kris talked about offensive versus defensive. He talked about dollars instead of cents for CRO, and also a top 5 ambition for the Cronos chain. So very interesting, but let's get started with the offensive point he was making first, because if you take a look here at what happened back in 2021 with the initial burn of the 70 billion CRO, there was quite a nice reaction initially, but also we fell down quickly thereafter. And also during the bear cycle, we fell down even more to about 5 cents. So while it was maybe short-term good, I think long-term, Kris might have a point that currently, if you take a look at, for example, CoinMarketCap, where is Crypto.com? Where is Cronos? It is, oh yeah, all the way down here, number 34 for Cronos. So therefore, we're in the middle of nowhere. We're really in the middle of nowhere. Or we should be at least in the top 20, but preferably, I would say even top 5. But currently, we do see BNB. And I think also Kris is mentioning this because BNB is still his biggest competitor there with the Binance exchange. Anyways, so he wants to go on offensive, and to go on offensive, it requires billions and billions of dollars of investment. And that is really interesting because their main goal is to grow the Cronos chain. And with these 70 billion mint, they're going to use a big part of it to incentivize growth, to attract more developers and attract more users so they can become a top 5 network, like for example Binance Smart Chain, like Base, and also like the Solana chain. I think that is of course a big ask, but if they can really grow to the top 5 ecosystem, they think there's going to be enough utility to also grow the Cronos token to at least that dollar milestone again, and maybe even multiple dollars. So it's a big bold bet, but it might pay off in a few years. In the next part of this AMA, Kris talks about 5 reasons why the 70 billion mint of tokens is required to achieve their goals. But guys, this video is long enough already, so we're going to do that in part 2 of this deep dive analysis. So guys, make sure you strap in, hit the like button, and then also next you can actually watch part 2 of this AMA deep dive about the 70 billion mint.